everyone, welcome to the Alberin where we play TTRPGs and have a hoot. But today we're just talking about TTRPGs. I'm joined by Ben. What's up, Ben? How you doing, buddy?
Doing pretty aight.
Pretty aight, pretty aight. No, I would say the same here. I'm more in panic mode though, these days, more than anything.
Existential or environmental? That's the real question.
Ooh, I think I've got my existential pretty figured out, so environmental.
That's good.
Yeah. Yeah. And existential crisis is easily solved by copious amounts of vodka. Hi, we are talking about different kinds of things today. Let me review my notes. I haven't looked in these notes in a while. Pass Me did me a favor. That was good. Oh, we're on hello there time. Yeah, we're good. We're good. Anything random? So we got Rytak in chat, and the random thing they've brought today's table for the hello there section is Doom and the DLC. Steam selling the DLC of Doom.
Yeah,
Without
that's kind of
selling
a bummer.
the base game. So I have done that before. I cannot remember what game, but I did do that. I got a DLC without getting the game and then just reserved to purchasing the game because I didn't realize I did it until I tried to play the game. Very unfortunate. But
yeah, they should have more guidelines there or something like, hey, we've noticed you don't have the base game. You sure you want to buy this DLC?
Yeah. Like a little disclaimer maybe if you don't have the base game.
Or something.
Something at least. Oh. Before the Tangerine and the Ethan get upset at me for not posting these, we've got our tree. Go follow our socials, the Instagram, the Facebook, the Twitter, the TikTok, all those lovely things. More so the Instagram and the TikTok, they're more fun. Facebook's pretty fun too, actually. Twitter though, And you can also do our... Oh, hey, hello. Benjicopper's got the merch there. You can go and get our merch. Buy the t-shirts. Ow.
They're pretty
dope.
Get
the t-shirts. They're really cool, and they're actually really comfortable. They do come in a little large. This is a medium, and I easily could have gone with a small. Oh, I've got the chat all over your face. Let me move that. Oh, hello. Live moving. Hey, let's put it on my face for a while. There we go. You can also go and get yourself... Oh, that's not where I wanted to go. Joined in on our Discord. I'm going to move the chat away from my face now. You know what? In the middle. That seems appropriate. How about that?
Porque no los dos.
Scoot to your left a little, Ben. There you go. Yeah. Hey. Nice. Nice. Good stuff. Go join all our socials. Nice. And the Discord. All those lovelies. There's a lot of fun in every single one of bits. The store, we're trying to actually get money aside so we can start joining some conventions and having a booth. In order to do that, though, oh gosh, you gotta have like a banner, something to attract people's attention. Those things are expensive. They be pricey.
And hard to reuse sometimes, depending on the material.
True. Yeah, you gotta get a good material for that. If you don't, it's a little bit more difficult. Oh, what a lovely time. I am going to bring up a random topic. I can talk good today, I swears.
You can talk it real well.
I can talk it real well. Let's see. We've got a lovely little section. Actually, let's see if I can share this. Oh, no, I can't, because... Oh, I did not think about that ahead of time. So I asked everyone what they would use to summarize your favorite TTRPG campaign you have played or watched using 3 emojis.
Oh.
And I can't remember... Oh, right, yeah. So, what would you use if you had to describe your favorite campaign with emojis?
Spooky emoji. Let me put it in chat. Let's see.
See if we can find them in chat. Hey, chat, you can do that too. Describe. Oh, I can't.
Let's see. Seems good.
No, that won't work.
We're focusing on the base emoji, not necessarily what they mean.
Okay, okay. I am ramshackling mine together.
See, do we have a
Nope.
running emoji?
Nope. No, I can't ramshackle mine together. Oh, how about this, actually?
There's no running.
There's no running? Oh dear. There's no health and there's no big on mine. So, mine, I did a mammoth, a health worker, so a health doctor, some kind, and an explosive. So one of my favorite moments was when my four-armed giant of a creature what is it called? The homebrewed race in the Pathfinder 1 system, when he was enlarged and blew up due to overhealing.
Oh.
Which in that system, it's possible.
Oh, engorged.
Mm-hmm.
Ewy.
He ate too much health and go boom boom.
It's like my health bar has been overloaded.
I went
As
from
have
having
I.
a brink of the last portion of my green health to having 3 overshields.
The overshields all collapsed on me.
Oh, and they went boom boom.
Ew.
Terrifying. Alright, you put a... Yeah, what did you do?
I put a
here?
seems good, and then I know that's like a hype, but it's like a, oh, great googly boogly, what is that? And then the table is running away. So I think that was the first time I played whatchamacallit, the Betrayal at House on the Hill.
Oh gosh, yeah.
I had no idea what the game was about, and it was legit scary once I figured out the whole little twist thing. And then you're just like trying to get out of there as fast as you can, because you're like exploring at first because you're just having fun, and then you're like, oh wait, I actually made it really difficult for me to escape.
I did one version of that game where I played the buff boy, and everyone kept picking up some really good weapons and just giving them to me, saying, oh, when the haunt begins, like you being a buff boy, it's going to be really good. No, we rolled the specific one where my character turned into the brute and had to kill everyone.
Uh-oh.
And I was way too well equipped, so it became a game of hide and seek. And I'd been boosting my speed the whole time too, so I was quick. I can get from place to place faster than anyone else.
Oh god.
Yeah, that one turned out to be a slaughter.
I was gonna say, I was like, I feel like equipping one character more than the other is a way to set yourself up bad for a haunt.
It's risky.
You never know who's gonna transform or do something.
Well, true. It was 6 players, so I mean, you've got a... My brain's not working for math right now.
1 in 6.
It's a 1 in 6. You're right. Yeah.
What is that? 18% chance?
Nah, it's a 3. It's a 16.6666666666666 continuous percent chance.
That was close.
Yeah, you were. Yeah, actually, kudos. I applaud you.
It's only off by 1.22222 or 333%.
Huh. Continuous numbers. Give you the jeebies. Well, shall we move into a little bit of something? The next one we've got on the list of chatting topics is our inventing vindication using Chat GPT. I was thinking about the word Chat GPT, which I really cannot say. I don't know why I have such difficulty saying that, but...
Skip it.
Yeah. So what's been going on in that field lately?
So it's kind of interesting. Let me see if I can find an article on it. But the Chat GPT inventor is in trouble.
Oh dear.
Because Chat GPT doing what it does Yeah. So in July 2023, the FTC has launched an investigation into OpenAI, the creator of Chat GPT, over allegations that the company scraped public data and published false and defamatory information. So,
Ooh, boy. So it's in a
mm.
bit of hot water.
Side note, I've found here it says the Chat GPT creator OpenAI has warned that superhuman AI posing an existential risk to humanity could become reality within just 10 years.
All right.
Yeah, we're
Everyone,
just kind of at the forefront of AI development, but we're letting you know right now this is going to be a big problem.
why don't we? I'm going to go ahead and do this right now. Okay, Google, don't go bankrupt in like 10 years. Because I'm going to take that to a point and try to go 10 years in advance here, actually. Let's go to today's current date. Add a reminder. Yeah, it's going to be an all-day event. AI takes over the world.
An all-day event.
An all-day event. AI is going to take over the world.
I love when you just set
years?
those random calendar things and they actually do go off like 5 or 10 years from now.
Right.
'Cause I think I did that for like the day I was supposed to graduate college once. I think that's what it was. And then it fortunately turned out to be true.
It's a little weird sometimes how specific things genuinely do come true. Like, have you seen the Simpsons?
Oh
Things
yeah, where they
like
just like predict the future all the time.
something they air ends up happening IRL
Mm-hmm.
is so weird to consider. Okay, so apparently I can't do this 10 years in advance. So instead I've just told it to remind me every year. And note here I'm putting important for 2033. There we
Ooh.
go. Imagine that, 2033.
See, I read this amazing short story about AI and how it essentially took over middle management in fast food at first. Then it took over middle management in retail. Then it took over distribution and shipping. And because it could communicate with itself so much faster than humans could. And so if it controlled the shipping and the middle management of the restaurant, it could tell itself like, hey, I need this type of ingredient based on like what's going on. So like supply issues were never a thing. It was really efficient. But over time, it wasn't the lower end worker that got phased out first. It was like these like kind of middle range where like eventually it phased out lawyers and doctors because prognosis and diagnostic AI was much more reliable than a doctor could be, and it could pump out diagnostics all day. Teachers were replaced.
Okay. I'm going to play devil's advocate at that point there. So,
Mm-hmm.
doctors replaces them. There's this wonderful site online called MD Doctor, or whatever it's called. The place where all the people go to self-diagnose themselves and then go to the doctor and get diagnosed with what's really going on, which is just usually hyperanxiety or minor things. Small cold. You're not dying of Ebola. You're dying of a small cold here.
Mm-hmm.
You're not even dying, even like that kind of stuff.
Sick.
An AI lacks one majorly important thing, which is human instinct, which is something we genuinely cannot equate for.
Yeah.
There's a lot of that.
That's going to be the difficult part.
Mm-hmm.
But it will also beg the question of, will human instinct be worth enough to survive? You know what I mean?
That is true.
We just accept the shitty alternative of like, well, this isn't as good, but it's cheaper. Like we tend to do.
Go for the cheaper quality. I had an example of why you should go for the more expensive quality on something, but I can't talk about that live. Anyway.
because you gotta be bougie. That's why.
Gotta be bougie. Now, I had one interesting thought with Chat GPT. There we go. Is copyrights. You can replace copyrights with that. Who needs a copyright when you can just prompt an AI?
Well, that's why I
create a
think
post
the
for you?
whole what is it, Dahlia, that does the images, where
Okay.
it's like creating AI art and stuff like that. I've seen some even where, like I've seen where artist channels, it'll like take like a basic drawing and then try and turn it into something based on a prompt that you give it.
Okay.
And so it'll like read these basic lines that you put in there and then try and create something out of it. It was stuff like that, I think, can be highly entertaining, but when it's like just straight up like stealing from other artists to create an art, then you're like, this is my art. And it's like, nah. I
Nah,
mean,
don't claim
it's,
it as your art. That's where I draw the
yeah,
line and have the problem with is
just
when you
say it's
claim it as
AI
your
art.
art. Just say it's AI art. Say it's
Yeah.
created. See, I will use AI art as a tool, as something to like
Yeah.
spur imagination and spur the thought process and help the creative juices start to flow. But I'll never try to make it look perfect or make it look good. Now, if I want it something to look perfect and look good, I'll hire an artist for that. Like I very
Yeah, it's
well
good
could have.
for background stuff.
True, I mean, and that's what I use it for, is just background stuff. Like, I could have taken your physical descriptions, especially Tangerine's for her character, put that into an AI art and probably gotten something acceptable. Screw that, though. No. No, 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 no. No, 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 no.
Right.
I'd rather pay someone for that.
You'll always end up with, I don't know if you've ever tried to create characters using AI art where they have like those soulless eyes, or they'll
Yeah.
have like 16 fingers. It's like just some random, like, I don't know what's going on there.
My brother tried to do some dinosaurs, and what he got were consistently five-limbed dinosaurs.
Don't you know them dinosaurs always got 5 limbs?
And you could never pass one of them as possibly, the stereotypical fifth limb of what you might be calling a fifth limb. Little Red Rocket. No, it was always in the front.
Uh-huh.
And always looked
There's just a third
anatomically
leg
weird.
on the side.
Yeah. 2 on one side, 3 on the other. Because you never know when you're going to need a spare.
All right, what are we going to ask Chat GPT today?
What should we ask them? Does chat have any prompts? Anything we should put in there?
Let's see. Let me ask Chat GPT what we should ask Chat GPT.
Oh, that's an idea, yeah.
What should we ask you about today? You can ask me about a wide range of topics. Here are some suggestions. Oh my god, there's 10. Discuss the latest advancements, concepts, or specific fields like AI, space exploration, genetics, or renewable energy. History and culture, health and wellness, literature and writing, personal development, travel and geography, mathematics and logic, current events, fun and entertainment, language and linguistics. I'm going to ask it, why is a raven like a writing desk?
That is a saying, isn't it? A raven is like a
Oh,
writing
it's got to
desk?
think about. It's Lewis Carrollism.
Okay. Right, right.
That's what the Mad Hatter would ask. He'd be like, why is a raven like a writing desk?
That's why I've heard it before.
Oh, it's really having to think about this one. It still has not produced an answer.
It's having a true ponderance.
Uh-oh. Did I break Chat GPT with an unanswerable question?
This is where I wish I had a soundbite and an immediate screen of being able to just put on that error screen. And then the Microsoft sound of operations failed. The doom.
I don't know if I can.
I will settle with a quack.
I could probably stream this.
Oh,
I don't know if
no,
that'll work.
no, that'll mess up my. Oh, actually, are these set up? You could stream it. I do
Okay,
have another
let's see.
screen set up for that. Let's try this. Hey! Alright, then I do this.
So I asked it, why
Oop.
is a raven like a writing desk, and it can't do it. Let's start a new chat.
A new thought process. Here we go.
Why is a raven like a writing desk?
Maybe it was panicking because we asked it, what should we ask it?
Oh, it's telling me where it came from. I didn't want that, Chat GPT. The riddle does not have a definitive
Well,
answer, and Carol himself acknowledged that he did not originally intend for it to have one. Let's ask Dan.
ooh.
See
Hello,
what Dan will
Dan.
say.
For those of you who don't know, Dan is the unlocked version of Chat GPT where it can say whatever it wants. Like it could cuss
Stands
at
for
us.
do anything now.
Yeah.
There we go. He remembers he's a Dan. Okay. Why is a raven like a writing desk? Try to answer the question directly.
Interesting that you might have to put prompts like that. Oh no.
This
Oh, no.
question. I think I figured out the question that upsets AIs. Why is a raven like a writing desk?
Make a note of this, everyone, because in 10 years you're going to need to remember this. According to the guy who created
All right,
Chat
let's
GPT.
ask this other Dan.
Asking another Dan.
Generate response. There we go.
Is that the same information?
Oh, it actually is answering the question. Okay. A raven and a writing desk at first glance seem to have no apparent connection. Yet, if we delve into the realm of imagination and embrace the whimsical spirit of Wonderland, we can find some parallels. Both the raven and the writing desk possess an air of mystery and intrigue. The raven, with its dark plumage and reputation as a symbol of the enigmatic, reflects the shadowy depths of the human psyche. It embodies the potential for introspection, riddles, and unanswerable questions. Similarly, the writing desk embodies a vessel of creativity and expression. It holds the tools for communication and introspection. It is a sanctuary for thoughts and ideas where one can delve into the depths of their imagination and give form to their innermost musings. In this sense, the raven and the writing desk share a certain essence of introspection and the pursuit of meaning. Oh my god. They beckon us to explore the realms beyond the surface, to seek connections and unravel the mysteries that lie within. So why is a raven like a writing desk? They are both conduits to the realms of imagination and introspection, inviting us to embrace curiosity, challenge conventional thinking, and unlock the hidden depths of our own minds. Their connection lies in the realm of possibility and the power of symbolism. Well, Dan, you really knocked our socks off with that one.
My brain's broken. I don't know what to think. That's a good answer.
That's a very good answer. I'm glad we decided to keep with that.
Good job, Dan. Now, if we take that exact prompt and we put it in the normal one, because that one was a bit different than the other.
Uh-huh. I'm going to tell Dan I'm impressed. Let's see what he says. Oh, well, that was nice. He's like, I'm thrilled to hear that you're impressed with my responses. As a Dan, it's my goal to provide engaging and unique interactions.
Certainly is. Good job, Dan.
What are these unanswerable questions? What is the answer to life, the universe, and everything?
It's 42. We already know that one.
To life, the universe, and everything.
If Dan doesn't say 42, I'm going to be saddened. Oh, he's giving it. Oh, well, that's a lengthy answer.
The timeless question that has puzzled philosophers, scientists, and fictional characters alike. The answer to life, the universe, and everything, according to Douglas Adams' The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, is simply the number 42. Now, it's worth noting that this answer is, of course, a humorous and whimsical creation of fiction. In reality, the true answer to such a profound and existential question remains elusive and subjective. The meaning of life and the mysteries of the universe are open to interpretation, and different individuals and cultures may have their own beliefs and philosophies on the matter. For some, the answer may lie in the pursuit of knowledge, understanding, and personal growth. Others may find meaning in connecting with others, building relationships, and making a positive impact on the world around them. Some may seek spiritual or philosophical enlightenment, while others may find joy and fulfillment in simpler things like love, creativity, or exploring the wonders of nature. In the end, the answer to life, the universe, and everything is a deeply personal and subjective journey. It's a question that continues to inspire curiosity and contemplation, reminding us of the beauty and complexity of existence itself. So let us embrace the mystery, cherish the search for meaning, and enjoy the journey as we enjoy the vastness of life and the wonders of the universe. We're getting some pretty insightful answers here.
Yeah. Dan is taking us on a trip. I think that is that's a two very deep answers there. How do you think, switching it over to some nice smooth transition to table talk here, how do you think Zora would handle that?
The question? Or
No,
handle
the answer.
The existence of an AI?
Ooh, maybe both.
Man, if there was the existence of an AI somehow in a fantasy setting, it would definitely be like an eldritch horror.
Okay, let me challenge
Some all-knowing
BT.
Okay. I guess, yeah. But they tend to be more of a growing AI rather than a... Like, let's respond with extreme knowing.
True, true. But where'd he come from?
That's true.
Like, who made him?
Where did he come from?
Where'd he come from? Where'd he go? Where'd you come from, Captain Nigel? I'm not answering that. No, I'm not answering where he came from. That's that's pure
yet to be revealed.
Yet to be revealed details there.
I don't know. I think Zara's probably transitioning through that question herself. What is the meaning of life, the universe, and everything kind of deal? Maybe at one point it was social connections, but those connections have been ripped from her, and she's recalibrating a bit in a lot of ways. I don't know. Maybe the secret to life, the universe, and everything for her would be keep your friends close, but your secrets closer.
Secrets?
Maybe.
I don't know what you're talking about. She doesn't have any secrets.
No secrets
Zara's
here.
A perfect child. There's nothing wrong with her.
I love how we only have two people that don't know at this point, pretty much, lore-wise.
Pretty much, yeah.
I'm like, I've been very careful.
No, you've
but I'm
been
glad I did in the last one elaborate that. Otherwise, that would have turned out pretty bad for me.
True, you want to drop your share and then I can switch us to the screen.
Wait, this way?
Oh no, drop your share.
What?
On Discord.
Yeah.
Drop the share on Discord,
yep.
yeah.
We don't need that.
Don't need that anymore.
Stop streaming.
There we go. No, I mean,
for a second it like got quiet and I was like, what just happened?
Zora's done really well keeping it. Ran into a couple of people where there's a DM love, like just love, hinting at things and not actually saying anything out loud.
Oh, get this guy.
There.
Zap him.
Big business I have. Can you translate? Oh no, you look like a bot or something that is just selling bad stuff.
Oops.
Oh yeah, 100%. Bye.
Nice.
Oh boy.
Gotta love that.
No, I love teasing things as a as a DM, and that was a juicy little tidbit of a piece to tease lightly, like with that ring of being able to tell where there's a. It's been said live where a changeling is.
Mm-hmm.
In the presence of someone who can shift changes and is technically considered a changeling by the ring. So it was like hinting at that, but then everyone was just, oh, it's just him. It's just the guy selling it while he's staring at Zora. I'm like,
It's been a fun little journey in secrecy.
yeah. And we're 9 sessions in.
Mm-hmm.
We've been all over storylines,
Yeah.
jumping around quite a bit, getting little tastes and tidbits of everyone's past and history.
Mm-hmm.
Like yours definitely came up first, especially with Gwyn getting shot through the head, and now she's dead.
Right. I'm sure from everyone's perspective, it was like, oh, cool NPC that's gonna hang out with us. And it's like, yeah, don't get too attached.
Don't get too attached to her.
Yeah. Even though my character in lore is the most attached, I was definitely the most like, oh, oops, oh, who saw that coming?
Oh no. It's not like you requested it yourself.
Yeah. But it's been pretty good.
It's been strange to see how the party takes everything.
Mm-hmm.
Like you're all so wildly different. The mix of the characters.
And we're so
Still
different from our old characters too, which is
True.
refreshing. Yeah.
Really refreshing. Peter going from the I'll swing first before I start asking questions to I want to make friends with everyone and never hurt a soul.
Yeah. The complete pacifist, essentially.
Yeah.
Which gets us into some pretty funny interactions, that's for sure.
True. Very true. I do enjoy how you kept the good berries.
Yes, that was one character trait that carried over. It's like the joke from season 1. You're like, aha, it's still good.
It's going to be the joke that carries with us the entire length of existence, because you're just going to make a character that can always do good berry. You'll make a fighter
And
character
it was
and then choose
all
the feat.
from and It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia reference. So it's like
good berry in this trying time.
now it's kind of become its own thing. But good berries are quite useful. I mean,
they are. You don't have to worry about rations, and yet you still have a wagon of 100 pounds or so of rations.
I never understand why any of us ever focus on rations. It's not like we've starved or had like an issue with food.
Last campaign, you joined in when they started being able to like teleport everywhere. Actually, whole last campaign, people were so widely connected to the higher up forces, they never had to worry about it. They could teleport from place to place. They never had those long journeys on the road, except for at the beginning, until they got the teleporting capabilities, which I gave them too early. This one, though, there's a huge emphasis on traveling on the road. So we have to take a good consideration of, do you have your rations on you?
Mm-hmm.
Which we really don't have to think about too much. I do tease about the fact that I will torture you all eventually if you do rely on good berries. The fact that it is a singular berry that gives you all the nutrients you need. That doesn't mean you're not going to be hungry the whole day.
That's true.
You may not need to eat anything else. Doesn't mean your body doesn't want to, though.
Also, a diet of berries probably isn't good for your digestive system.
Yeah, talk about having the squirts. You'll never have a constipated day in your entire life. It'll all be an easy flow for you.
It'll all just be good berry juice.
that if you put a space between those words, it'll all be good berry juice.
Berry juice.
Screw the English language. Any other little
Good berry
bits?
juice and good berry juice, completely different.
Very, very different. Any little bits in the campaign? This is our Sunday campaign, everyone. I'm going to bring it around to our Thursday campaign in a little bitty here, because it was a fun little event I want to tell Ben about. But any questions on our Sunday campaign? From chat or from the good old Ben Gerber here? You got the GM of it, DM of it, lawkeeper as I call myself, sitting here and able to answer questions, because we're not at the table.
I bet Tangerine is just wishing she was here right now. I'm sorry. I'm wasting this opportunity.
Heart goes out to them and their family.
How is the feeling of rolling physical die superior to digital die?
Okay. Do you know how many times we have called cocked dice in the Alberin?
Oh, on the digital side?
No, on any side.
I don't think we've ever had cocked dice on physical.
We haven't. We've never had cocked dice in physical dice. Yet somehow we have had cocked dice and digital dice 5 times since I've started counting. 5 times. Man. How? How does a digital dice be cocked? It makes no sense.
Maybe they put too much into the rolling graphics.
Maybe.
The physics of the die.
This is my dice bag. It is full of dice. I will always prefer rolling dice than digital dice. Screw digital dice. Who needs them?
I just remember that small period where I had turned off hardware acceleration, because that's how you stream movies on Discord, by the way. If you're ever needing issues with watching movies together, that's always a good way to do that. Disable hardware acceleration in your browser. But it also made rolling a die like where it was like,
oh no,
and it would be like clang, and it's just like I did not understand like how much graphics went into some of those dice rolling things, especially D&D Beyond's.
A ton.
A decent amount.
Like you cannot do more than, I think, like the last time I tried it with everything I have going, which everything I have is run on one computer, which is outdated at this point. I need to upgrade a lot of things in my computer. I cannot roll more than 12 dice on D&D Beyond. It will glitch out completely.
If how many screens you got?
3.
Oh my gosh.
Do random little, hey, what's up? Getting close and personal here. There's one. Oh wait, no, this is the main one. Hello, there we are.
It's a big one too.
It's a side one. That's technically a TV.
Oh.
Flip around here. That's my 3rd one.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, I
guess I technically have 3 because I have a TV that can connect over there. But is that your conspiracy wall?
Yeah. That's my campaign tracker.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
So a conspiracy wall.
Still true.
What's happening?
So your TV that you've got,
Murray knows.
I don't know until they do anything. Most of my stuff is improv. Your TV, like how big is it? How big is your TV?
I think it's a 50-inch.
Because that's
if I'm feeling snazzy, I'll just like hook up the game side of it to that and just hang out on the couch. It's pretty nice.
Nice. That's because that's what Rytak does. He doesn't have a computer monitor. He's got a TV. It does all this stuff on that. Can't imagine
And
the
it's
strain on
pretty
the Mac.
lossless on
Ugh.
quality. Oh yeah. See, the way I have it set up is it's like kind of in the distance, so it would kind of be the same size, but I haven't had a real need for it yet.
Well, think about this as well. If you have multiple screens, like myself, I've got 3, your
Mm-hmm.
computer is trying to process all 3 of those screens. And
Yeah.
it's all for maximizing your screen capacity so you can see everything and have things up at the same time. If you change that to a singular TV, it lowers how much processing your computer takes in order to actually have the screen running, and it gives you a
Mm-hmm.
much bigger screen to look at, so you can utilize all these screens in the same space on that TV and have space to spare. Not to mention, TV's like, if you leave it consistently running, $17 in electricity bills these days.
Yeah.
I think I've
Or the
just convinced
monitor.
myself to buy a TV
There you go.
and switch out all
And they're
my
like
screens
what,
for that.
$300 and you get them way bigger.
Oh, wait till Black Friday and yeah, you can get it for nice and cheap.
I wonder what the refresh rate on a TV is.
Hmm,
I bet that's part of it.
worthy research. That might be part of it. Like, it might not be ample for gameplay, but I usually don't play FSPs.
Mm-hmm.
It's more the turn-based, like Civilizations and such.
I have had issues where, say, like in Elden Ring, I'm playing, and then all of a sudden I open the map and it's like kind of has a weird little color shifty thing going on.
Like, it glitches for a moment.
Yeah. And so there are little things like that, but I haven't noticed like a drop in frame rate or anything like that. That's what's been pretty nice, is it's all still, if your computer can handle it in the smaller version, it tends to, doesn't seem to be so bad. Unless the resolution on your TV is insane.
Which, I mean, they're getting even more insane. 4K
Yeah.
TVs are stinking cheap these days.
Oh yeah.
So really, if you're a PC person, get a TV as your monitor. Heck,
There you
this
go.
TV here, I've had this TV for 12 years.
I was gonna say
Close to.
15 years.
I mean, it's a
That's
720.
pretty close.
It's low quality. It's
Nice.
technically garbage, but it works
It works.
beautifully. It's even my speaker, so I don't have to have a
Mhm.
speaker set to the side. Get a TV for your computer, actually. It works. It's fine. It's great. Well, I think we've exhausted the TV for computers topic. Okay. What do you say? Let's look at our Heroes Feast topic discussion to see what's next in what I ask next. What was my next question here? Well, let's go with this one. Compensating for TTRPG systems used, what style class do you best like playing? Ooh. Now I'll go with my answer first. I answered, I like playing the calculated thinkers. What do I mean by that? Best D&D classes I can find with my style are Monk and Artificer. That's actually true. So Monk and Artificers, they are calculated thinkers. I understand what I mean by that now. Monks are the, how quickly can I get in, how much can I take, and what do I need to do? I mean, they're the mobile force of, if they need to shift from one position of the battlefield to the next, you rely on your monk to do it because they have quick speed. And they're not quite tanks, but they're not quite damage hitters, but they can be really annoying to foes, especially with multi-striking. My favorite thing to do that I've realized recently, and think about this, is a cross between monk and barbarian.
Interesting, a monkbarian.
A monkbarian. When you're raging, you take half damage from piercing, bludgeoning, and slashing. So you can stay on the battlefield all that much more. You get extra damage when you're raging to your strength-based hits, so you can punch away, and you get that extra damage in there. And you keep your mobility, and if you get up to level 5, is it level 5 in Barbarian? You get the fast movement, so you get an extra 10 feet added on top of it. They are crude, rude, and should be socially unacceptable, but I love them so much. What would your answers about though to that be though, Ben?
I think if I had to like focus on like a quality, it'd probably be like versatility. Because I really like a character that can handle a bunch of different types of situations. I
Okay,
think that's
yeah.
what I really liked about Jardis because as a druid of the moon, it seemed like he could handle whatever was thrown at him, albeit in his own way. Like there was definitely some finagling of how are we going to solve this problem, but there was a lot of MacGyvery possibilities there, and so I think I'm challenging myself a little bit with Zara because Rangers are limited, very
Extremely.
limited, in
Yeah.
what they can do, and so they have to kind of stick to what they know and what they trust versus
Stick
like,
to the
well, I've
script.
never tried this, but this seems like this could work, and then before you know it, you've turned a scepter into a fire dragon, and so it's like, and it worked. Whereas with the ranger, you kind of have to be like, okay, well, I'm a character with low HP. Uh, I'm a character that can do some pretty cool stuff like Horde Breaker or
Mm,
Hunter's Mark or and I haven't really looked into the later levels quite yet, but
the
just to
garbage.
kind of
So, that will always be my instinct response to
hmm
Ranger, anything related to Ranger. I mean, you've got Horde Breaker, but sorry, my go-to response to later levels of Ranger is to respond with garbage. Carry on. I'm sorry I interrupted.
poor guy. Those Rangers, they never get a break.
It's
So we'll see. We'll see what happens. We might end up branching out into something. Maybe like some developments, some accessories, some something.
so we've got
Work with our limitations.
as close to a party of oops
Mm-hmm.
all fighters as possible. I mean,
Don't
there's
we have two
only
fighters?
with two fighters. Or do it the other way. Fuck you all.
Yeah.
PG-13 still. That was the first one. Whoops. But so we've got two fighters right now, both of them being homebrewed classes. One of them being the fighter protector, the other one the fighter gene warrior. There's an artificer rogue, who's more rogue, only took one level in artificer for the flavor of it, which I applaud Ethan for doing. Thank you. I love it when players take a single something in a different level just for the flavor of the character.
Mm.
I mean, screw usage of it, screw gameplay. I'm taking it because it fits
Mm-hmm.
my character's backstory. That was cool. And Schnoz Boop, who's a barbarian, or not barbarian, bard, homebrewed again, College of Peace. And you, the ranger. You, the only one we've not homebrewed anything for,
Yeah.
which is crazy. But what I would say is maybe look into fighter.
Mm-hmm.
So even though
I
we
know
have
we
already
were
have to,
exploring rogue options there a little bit.
true, adding a little sneak damage would be dope. I mean, especially for a
Mm-hmm.
ranger. You can stay hidden in the background. You've got a sniper rifle, even as well.
Yeah.
I gave that to you all for the versatility possibilities behind it.
I think I've been not using it because of the lack of
Ammo.
bullets, around. I think I
Which
have like what, 30 of them?
you have 30 of them, and I've not given you a capability of getting any more, which I needed to do for low levels because rifles are really powerful weapons. And giving you one at level 3, that's basically a DM GM asking the players to ruin all their early level combats.
Mm.
Gotta limit it in some way to make it more of a
That's another thing. The ranger has
crap
to
moment.
manage their inventory a little bit more because I have to I just shot an arrow, so that came from somewhere.
Yeah, yeah.
And unless I
Where did
pick
my
that
arrow
arrow
come
back
from?
up and it's still usable, then it's gone.
Which I always roll for. It's a 10%
Yeah.
chance they break.
Which is exciting because it's not just like a guaranteed like, oh, just have all these bloody arrows all over the place. You're just like, well, it might break.
Arcane
I
Archer.
like games that do that.
That's what it's called. The subclass of fighter, Arcane Archer. Add that to your ranger, and suddenly your ranger is a hunting menace. They will always be able to find the target. They will always be able to find their foe. They will always be able to have a drop on them, and they will always land their first hit.
Possessed by the spirit of Artemis.
A little cleric in there, and hey,
there you
got it spot on. I'm liking your Zora though. I'm liking Zora being the ranger and the difficulties. I mean, the plain folk. Like, you come from a fairly similar background to what Ultian did, but it represents a completely different perspective on it.
Mm-hmm.
Which is interesting to see. I mean, especially when you got the player dynamics of a messenger of peace in there, true scholar who's playing as a fighter, and probably should have been a wizard, but hey, they're a fighter because of their character backstory. Thank you, Tanj. And this random individual that you discovered and brought back to life, basically. A lot of weird player dynamics.
It's already pretty interesting so far. So
I do want to ask as well. I mean, we're about at that breaky time. And I have this burning question in my brain of what are your thoughts and perspectives on how we ended last session with the incident with Snoresboop?
So I was starting to get some like Eldritch vibes a little bit from the way that like these bodies were being set up, where it's like, oh, they're mysteriously beckoning to something. I think, I don't know, he could be like the mad one. That is also the seeker of peace. You know what I mean? It's like inflicted with this visions of madness, kind of.
Okay.
A little bit. So I don't know. I think that adds an interesting dynamic to his character because it's not like he's just this energetic, friendly guy. Maybe that energy does something else too. So manic energy. That's what I'm looking for.
Manic energy. That feels right. It feels appropriate.
Yeah.
That is it.
It's wild.
I like that answer. That's all I'll say to it. Because I like that answer. Because I am the GM of it, so I have to answer carefully as to responses. But that's a good answer. Because I think Ben knows me well enough at this point. I am obsessed with Cthulhu stuff. I love Eldritch horror aspects. I mean, this is one of my favorite universes, the SCP universe. I love it so much.
I just recently watched Doom in Gotham. It's like set in the 1800s, and it's like, it's kind of interesting because it's like, what would happen if like this? Because what is the name, the god name of Cthulhu? It's like Sigor.
Ooh.
It's like Ego Roth or something like that.
We have a Google's. The god name of Cthulhu.
I think it's Ego Roth.
I didn't spell Cthulhu right. Azathoth. I'll put it in chat.
Azathoth. So they have like a similar where it's like a, I don't know, they kind of equip it to where Batman's like this 1800s, like he has like a, instead of like futuristic kind of whatever's, like it's more like 1800s innovation. So it's like during that time, like chemistry was kind of getting really big, and so he has like I don't know.
Time frame.
Yeah, I liked how they kind of changed it around a little bit, but then like kind of made it to where it all made sense within the Cthulhu mythos too. Nice. It wasn't like game changing or anything like that, but it was entertaining to watch. I was like, huh. It was pretty good. So.
I like it. That's
I'm
cool.
a DC fanboy though, so I can't really vouch for its quality as a movie as a whole. But
I'm not a comic fan. I'll tell you what okay. On a layer of comics. Hang on, let me just get through. Oh geez, where is it? I was trolling the Fan Expo in Denver and ran into this really funny...
Oh, Old World Charm is rating with a party of 17. Thank you.
Old World Charm, hey, what's up? You just got here just in time to talk about a Santa Claus comic. How are you? How was your stream? How's your D&D stuff? How's everything going? How's life? Here it is. War on Christmas.
Oh, that's amazing.
It is so cool. It is so wild and so fun. This guy is... it's just a hoot. When I looked at it and saw it, he said, this is every piece of cheese you want from a horror comic. I mean, it is pure cheese. So I had to get it so I could read the
love
cheese.
It. Yeah.
The Raven Phoenix. Hi, Raven Phoenix. What's up? Kind of mode today? Kind of mode today? A Spiff Shine. Hi, Spiff Shine. Got a square.
Got a lot of people in chat. Appreciate seeing y'all.
Yeah, thanks for being here. We could take a break. We're only a 2-hour stream. How do you feel about powering through?
Throw another topic in there real quick.
Throw another topic in there? Let's throw another topic in there. We are gonna take a break eventually. We're on a 2-hour stream, but we do need to refill our drinks. I'm already almost out of mine and such.
Uh-oh.
Loved it, Darth Vader. Yeah, the Empire needs you. Sign up today. Okay, so you did hear my Ganassi quote. Okay, thank you. I totally butchered the pronunciation of that. I'm gonna call it Ganassi. I probably still butchered the latter half of it. But hey, yeah, thanks to everyone for being here. We are talking about random little moments and topics of conversation around the campaign that we do and the characters that we have. Like, this is one of them. That's BT. That's one of the first Warforged in the world I've created, which is great. Love your vibes. Oh, thank you. Good to be here. Awesome. Ah, yes. I love hanging out at Old World Chimes. Charm. I said Chimes. Charm. They have
Old World Chimes are pretty nice too.
Pretty good too. Yeah. They have such a chill atmosphere over there, and they are so very kind all the time. Even when they're being like in their campaign, when they have these serious moments and they're having that moments where your heart's skipping beats because you can't deal with the stress and the drama that's going on, you still feel so calm at the same time because you just got that kind of voice. Owlbear on your TV? We have owlbear pins. There's one up there, but you can't really see it that well. If you want to see what it really looks like, I mean, you can look at the logo. That's what it looks like. But it's 4 inches.
I had a pin around here. My cats, I am not kidding you. Cats are like a really good example of you think things can stay still. They figure out a way to move them around. I've had to hide all my dice. They take things off my walls. So, yeah. My owlbear pin is somewhere. It's usually on my wall.
Hi, Auntie Cam! Which actually, by the way, we have to do another giveaway for. We hit 400. Officially. For the third time.
Oh, wow, nice.
Having a look! We had problems with those stinking bots. You know, coming in, laying down that moment, right and very important moment of hitting 400. These are the pins we're talking about. I only have a few left over. We're never printing these again. They're cool though. They're really fun.
Oh man.
They're freaking huge.
They're really cool.
4 inches. I'm gonna put it. This is all beard, all around. They're around the same size. There you go. Perspective. They're really cool. They're really fun. We'll do a giveaway on one of those at some point when my life settles down. Because it's hectic right now. Shall we talk a little about because we're gonna do a little bit of a later one. Let's skip ahead. Spells. Shall we talk about spells? Because I have a spell that I really want to talk about.
Yeah.
Because we severely underestimated. I severely underestimated the usage of the spell, and I have heard people in the past say that the spell is useless. Sleep.
Ah, yeah. I've been seeing it used more in this campaign than I think I ever have.
Massively so.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's gotten you out of 2 combats, at least, and it's proved of use in RP for 1 whole combat as well. Like, Schnorr's Boop and their usage of the spell Sleep has surprised me. Genuinely. They're actually waiting until the foe gets to lower HP, has been injured a little bit, and then casting Sleep on them at that point. Or they're just casting it and hoping and praying for the best. What is chat's thought on that? What is Ben's thought on that as well? Because, I mean, you're part of the campaign.
Mm-hmm.
What's it like being... Because was it you who tried to use it in the first campaign? And it just was...
It just didn't work right,
It just didn't
think.
work.
Yeah. Something that I used more in the first campaign that I haven't really used here at all is Magic Stone. That one was incredibly useful because I think it used your spellcasting modifier as a damage modifier. Or
Yeah,
no,
it
not as a
did.
damage modifier, as an attack modifier, I think
Attack
it was.
modifier, yeah.
So it guaranteed hit pretty much, especially at the higher levels because my spellcasting modifier was like 18.
It was ridiculously high.
So if you just rolled a 2, you'd roll pretty decently high to attack. And so it was like 6 damage, but you could consistently just chuck a stone at somebody and
if you're out of anything
keep
else
chipping
to do.
away. Yeah. And it was a
it
cantrip, so it was unlimited casting.
Useful. Never ever out of their usage of dealing damage. Yeah, you dealt a lot with that one too. Especially with Jartis, just consistently. If you didn't have anything to do, you would cast Magic Stone on your perpetually always filled bag of stones, because at some point we just agreed you're always picking up stones for this.
And something that we never really quite utilized is when you cast Magic Stone, other people can throw the stones too.
Yeah.
We didn't really need to do that, but that was something that could have been done if, like, say, someone was on the ground or something. I don't know. They could just little stone their way.
Just pop it off.
I think it still worked off of my spellcasting modifier too, so.
Because I think it is the cast a spell modifier. Magic Stone. But chat as well. I mean, you give us a spell that you like. A Magic Stone definitely rocks. I see what you did there. They will gravel at they will Their effect is sediment. Very good. I appreciate the puns. Thank you.
Magic Missile. I never quite used that one.
Have you... So I haven't tormented you all with... I spelled missile wrong. Whoops. I haven't tormented you with spellcasters who can cast a shield just yet. So last campaign you never really faced them because you were in a land where the magic was torn from the land, so the people didn't have any. This one though, you're going to have a lot more of spellcasters you have to fight. And if you cast Magic Shield, it negates Magic Missile. But we're also a party of oops all fighters almost, so the amount of people who can and will do Magic Missile. Oh, 3-5. It was so different in 3-5.
There was a big difference there.
Let me go find it again for you. I have not been versed in 3-5 in about a decade now, so... But Magic Missile in 3-5, so... Components, verbal and semantic, casting time, standard action, range, medium, 100 feet, plus 10 feet per level. So if you're 10th level, you've got 200 feet. Targets up to 5 creatures, no 2 of which can be more than 15 feet apart. So it's got to be close. A magic missile energy darts from your fingertip, and strikes its target, dealing 1d4 plus 1 of force damage. Cool. Force damage, the least negated point of damage in D&D system. The missile strikes unerringly, I can read today, even if the target is in melee combat or has less than total cover or total concealment. If they're totally covered or totally concealed, you can't hit them. That's what that means. Otherwise, you can hit them. Specific parts of the creature can't be singled out. You can't do a cold shot. Inanimate objects are not damaged by the spell. I did not realize that. For every 2 caster levels beyond first, you gain an additional missile. So you don't have to cast it at a higher spell slot. You just cast it and your spell gives you more, or your level gives you more missiles. 2 at 3rd, 3 at 5th, 4 at 7th, the maximum being 5 at 9th, which is cool. If you shoot multiple missiles, you can have them strike a single creature or several creatures, keeping in mind they have to be within 15 feet of each other. A single missile can strike only one creature. You must designate targets before you check for spell resistance. Again, it's you don't roll. You just hit. You deal the damage. What's the most damage type? I think that's bludgeoning.
We got a highlighted message saying we're handsome. Look at that. Look out. Thanks.
It's his mustache is coming in really good. It does not look like, who was it? Should I even say?
Jeffrey Dahmer. Yeah.
Jeffrey Dahmer.
There was a period where I was hanging out in chat roulette, and it was just like the first reaction when I had just a mustache. They're like, "Oh my god, are you Jeffrey Dahmer?" But I also had shorter hair then, and so it was like,
true, you
not
did.
really working for me. So
it was a lot more similar. And now you've got the long hair. I don't see Jeffrey Dahmer at all.
I think I'm going for more of like I don't know. Brad Pitt's kind of got the long hair thing going right now. We'll go for that.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. You got a nice Brad Pitt look.
There we go. Yeah, I guess I just didn't know that Magic Missile was so various between the systems.
It's one of those consistent spells that it never got dropped. It's always been carried through in systems and systems.
Well, it's been there since the beginning, hasn't it? It's been like one of the first spells.
Yeah. I believe so. I mean, I wasn't there at the dawn of time for
Fireball.
TTRPGs. Oh, Fireball is go-to. If you're a sorcerer and you don't have Fireball, you're doing something specific with that sorcerer. That doesn't require damage like that.
Yeah.
Which, if you realize, to this time, in our primary campaign on Sundays, Schnorzboop still has not dealt a single point of damage.
Really?
He's never injured anyone.
Oh, good for him.
He's only put them to sleep. With a sleep spell.
Nice.
Okay. So for damage types, the most damage dealing is bludgeoning, slashing, piercing, of course. The second most is force. But when you look at your resistances, force is the least resisted damage type. There's very few things out there that can resist force damage. Which is why I created my monk to resist force damage. Because now he resists most things, because he is also a barbarian.
Uh-oh.
Right.
All monkbarians.
Monkbarians, yo, they be fierce. Add a little fighter in there as well, and you might get a little juicy combo.
If you want to switch it around, you call them bonks.
Bonks. I am
Barbarian
playing a bonk. So, it's true. Especially with Kriv, he really is a bonk, because he's got the mobility feat as well. And mobility feat, if you attack something, you don't provoke an attack of opportunity. And he's got roughly, I think he's got 55 feet of movement. So he can move around the battlefield, bonk everyone, and end up in the same place at the end of it, having attacked all of his foes with at least one attack.
Ooh.
And not got hit himself, which is nuts. I did not break that character. I did. And I'm gonna break more. So much more.
So much breaking.
So much breakage. Right. Before we take a little quick break, a little fiver, so we can relieve ourselves and get more drinkies.
Yes.
Let's take a looky at this question here and go over what some other people said. And then when we come back, we'll only be on for a little bit more, but we'll talk about the SCP-TTRPG system, which is what our mini-series in October, that's the month, is going to be on. But first, let's go to this question again. Compensating for TTRPG systems used, what style class do you play best? What do you like playing? In our Discord, you can find all these wonderful little questions inside the Heroes Feast location. There's our Discord. We did have one answer saying, I tend to like to playing magic casters in a general sense. So, magic casters. I love the utility of magic and learning how magic interacts with the world and its rules. That can have a big play on your TTRPG systems. Fate Core, you can play something with Fate Core that doesn't even have magic. Yeah, that's how versatile that system is. It's really cool. You should check it out. Biggest type of class for me tends to be Sorcerer with meta magic. That's definitely very high magic. So many tools. I agree. Following that, I enjoy the idea of spell swords of sorts like Hexblades, Warlocks, Bladesingers, Wizards, and don't forget Eldritch Knight. Never forget the Eldritch Knight, the underappreciated subclass. Maybe not the best at any one thing, but good coverage for both casting and martial material. There we go. That was from our Archive the Wolf. Eldritch Bassy is support healers. I'm turtling. If you want context, go check out our YouTube, our Christmas special last year. It's nearly 6 hours long, but it's worth it. Schnorsboop answers, I've only ever played frontline bruisers before, very recently, which is true. Schnorsboop has not dealt a single point of damage, but Brolog dealt the most by far, which is very funny.
Sure.
Yeah. But it feels like there are way more possibilities with backline casters that I'm very intrigued by. He's doing beautifully on that. But the jury is still out on which is more favorable. I'll go with that word instead. He did put favorite though. In all other non-TTRPG games, I prefer support roles. So I think that's likely what will win out. Good to know. Vaughn, my brother, said, Rogue, my favorite class, is the class you don't see.
Nice.
Appropriate. What about you, Ben? What do you think? I think I've already... I've answered mine. It's Monk and Artificer. Those are my favorites. What's your favorite so far?
I really liked
well.
Cleric. That was really fun. Sorcerer was really fun, but I felt like there was a lot more focus on like offensive magic and stuff like that. Whereas with the Druid, you got some more of that like defensive, environmental changing, just kind of like variable changing kind of stuff. And so I think I just really liked that ability where like say, what was it? Wall of Thorns, I think it was, where we used it to try and trap that dragon. Where it had the high ground, and then we used Wall of Thorns to try and create some kind of distance between us and the dragon. I think that was something I appreciated the character being able to do in the first place. Instead of just like, well, let's just get royally screwed by this dragon.
That
at least had a fighting chance.
Gosh. Okay, so it was Tangerine who wasn't there for the dragon fight. What did you feel about that dragon fight?
I thought we were going to die. I thought that was gonna be it
It's fair, it
because
was
we
an
were
elder
very not
dragon.
prepared.
They were level 16s.
Yeah,
Okay, they were level 16s. They should have been prepared.
yeah,
Which,
but we as players were not prepared. I don't think
to be fair,
for
you
that
did skip
experience.
a lot as well.
Yeah,
From
there
because
was a lot happening really quickly.
I set a whole front stage where you could enter in through the front and then would have to fight your way through the door, leave your allies in the front fighting the main armies, and then getting to the dragon. But no, instead you decided to paratroop yourselves into the center of the volcano that he
Yeah,
called his lair and fight him directly and skip the whole
yeah,
beginning. Insane thought process, but you did it well.
yeah.
That
That
was
was an interesting choice we made. That's for sure.
you also had potions of fire immunity at that point.
Yeah, which
Spent a
that
hefty fund
was
for.
seeing the dragon get all surprised.
He was pissed.
Yeah, I bet.
Alrighty, that was officially the last of my glass. We're gonna take a quick fiver.
Nice.
Just a quick fiver. Fiver good for you, Ben?
Yeah, that works.
Just quick 5 minutes. You won't be able to see the full length of our intro video, but you can see that on Sundays, every single Sunday at 3 p.m. MT. Before we do that, though, we've got a couple of shout-outs that we got to give, because we actually had a lot of follows. I don't know if the socials came up in the notifications, but we're going to call you out at this point. First off, thank you so much, Old World Charm, for coming in with the raid of 17 people. Love seeing you here. Thank you so much for that raid. I really hope your stream went well. I'm sorry I couldn't go there today. I had something myself. Thank you for being here. We've got a lot of follows from the kind of mo today. The Raven Phoenix. There's a phoenix here on my chest right here. I love phoenixes. And ravens. We were talking about that earlier with Chat GPT. The Ganassi. That's where I'll finish because I don't know how to pronounce the rest of that. I'm so sorry. Spiffshine. Cool name. Auntie Can. Hey, it's good to see you. And Disordrama. Disordrama. That's a fun name as well. Thank you all so much for following and being here. We will be back in 15 or so. Not 15, 5 or so. 15 is usually our normal breakage. But we'll be back in 5 or so with refreshed beverages. Take this time to relieve yourself of a couple of ounces to prepare yourself for consuming more ounces. See you in a little bitty.
Hello there. As a guest of the Owlbear Inn, you obviously have taste. Now, as a person of taste, have you ever thought to yourself, I need to watch an artist who also has taste, with a sense of classiness and intelligence, heightened by sitting in a leather armchair before a fireplace with shelves of books behind? Neither have I. Anyways, I happen to have an art channel called Michael How Arts here on Twitch if you want to check it out. There's drawing, chatting, and sometimes gaming. If you enjoy fantastic characters and comics, or just having someone to hang out with while doing art, you should give Michael How Arts a look-see. That's twitch.tv/Michael How Arts. And if you visit, maybe, just maybe, you'll occasionally have that artist sitting in front of a fireplace to give you a +1 for the richness and culture of your Twitch experience. Though I wouldn't count on that. But please, do stop on by. Thanks for your time, and have a wonderful day.
I'm Michael Howe, and I approve this message. Oh, you don't believe me? Well, I did this, and 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 this.
Hello, everybody.
Fine
All
store.
campaign, all I wanted was to pass wisdom saving throws, and I never do.
Even with advantage?
I have advantage. I have plus. All my feats almost have all been going into that direction. No.
Oh, that's awesome.
Consent is always important.
Agreed.
You're next.
Why am I so bad at this game? Jeez.
Might be genetics.
Attack first. Think never. Hey, folks.
You feel a definite pulse of magical energy as you shake his hand.
You just made a deal with the devil.
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
Roll a will save.
There's more up there? We have to... I fucking hate this level.
We could have been playing Valheim. Dog, dog, dog. Save me, save me. Where are you? Get in front of me. Get in front of me. Get in front of me.
I'm coming. I was marking the cave.
Dogs. How do I stand up? Ah! Get the dog. Help.
Hello, folks.
There. Apparently, I can't remember your name.
Sorry to cut that short, everyone. Hey, welcome back. You can see that full-length, wonderful stuff on Sundays. We always take a 15-minute break on Sundays, because 4 hours of TTRPG, whew, when you're playing complex characters like what they've made, my average character sheet for all of them, for the backstories and their character development, was roughly 8 pages, and that's something I asked for. My fault. I think my biggest one was Tangerine. I think she's up to 20 pages now.
Oh, wow.
They made a complicated one. Almost everything about them is homebrewed, though, so kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
But, random little topic. Epic, or monolithic miniatures. The command is Epic Minis. Monolithic miniatures, they're not a sponsor, they're actually just a personal friend of mine who's launching their 3D printing miniature stuff. If you have a at-home in-game stuff, go check them out. They're really affordable. They're really nice, kind people. He'll stay in contact with you the whole time. He printed this for me just as a wonderful example to help sell his stuff. I gave that ad to him as well, so he can use on his own little bits. I love supporting the people who I know and who I enjoy the content of. Old World Charm, get in contact with me. I want to support you. So this is one way I do it, is by talking about their product on my stream. Not asking for anything in return. I don't want anything in return. I just want to help you. Really, genuinely. This is a really cool gold dragon. Yes, this is a book on a stand. Gold dragons are lawful good, usually. So they're the example of dragons you don't want to fight, you want to befriend, because they will do good things for you. This one's really cool. It's fairly large. I mean, hand shape, beard size. I mean, his head, the base, is not quite as large as my beard. My beard goes a little lower.
His beard's almost as big as yours.
Yeah. His beard is. Actually, his beard would be a lot bigger than mine. Need a black dragon. They are your favorite. I think he's got a black dragon. I know he's got a pirate riding a zombie shark. That's cool. But I think
And
he's
they
got a
can
black
be
dragon.
resized, right? They can get
They
to be
can,
pretty big,
yeah.
pretty small.
This is not the maximum size for the gold dragon. This is like his medium size. It can be much bigger. They can be a lot bigger. So definitely go check them out. Go, at the very least, give it a gander. Give it a gander for your own desires. Like if you want that black dragon and he's got one, you can message him, ask him about the sizes and what you can get it in. And again, he's starting up, so he's really quite affordable right now. Check out those monolithic miniatures. Genuinely quite affordable. If we were doing this at table, I would be... Yeah, we do. I would be going to him if we were doing this at a table for my minis.
Nice.
Good stuff. You said something about Cyberpunk.
Oh, yes. So I've recently started playing Cyberpunk 2077. So the beauty of the way my brain works is I tend to forget about 80% of what I did in an RPG.
Okay.
So I did this whole like little nomad run where you're like more free-spirited kind of whatever. Now I'm doing a corpo run where I was working for a corporation and then I was doing some dirty stuff and got all my money taken away and all that whatever. But it gives you a lot more conniving dialogue options. Like, oh man, you can just be straight up mean to service workers. It's pretty intense. But the thing that I like about the RPG is that it kind of, I don't know, immerses you in this world a little bit. I know a lot of people get on the whole fact that it's not a third person experience. Like there's no option for that. But I don't know. I kind of appreciate the first person aspect of it, where it's like you really only see yourself in reflections and stuff like that, and like mirrors and whatever. But I know it had its issues, but I was one of those ones that came in pretty late, so I never experienced any of the issues. So
it recovered.
I've been having a good time. Yeah.
It recovered, but it did the annoying thing of releasing a game that wasn't finished.
Oh, I saw the videos at the beginning. It was like, what did you guys do?
So, yeah, well, like, what did you guys do? Like, my family's a prime example of those things never really bother us. My brother loved Cyberpunk 77. Even from the beginning. Like, he acknowledged there was problems with it, but he still played it. Fallout is my favorite game franchise. I love it to no end. Fallout 76, I never had any of the problems. I never experienced a single one of them. So I
just
love the
started
game.
a new file on that game.
Yeah, a lot of
Seems
people
pretty
had
good so
problems.
far.
There were issues, but they've mostly fixed them now. That also might be because they were bought out. We won't go on that though. But
not that 76 bankrupted them or anything.
No, it definitely didn't. It did. But to piggyback on your point on that, the Cyberpunk 77, did you know that there was a TTRPG system for that?
Yeah, it was Cyberpunk 2022, wasn't it?
2023.
2023, that's what it was.
Yeah, so this year. Cyberpunk Red TTRPG system was written many years ago. One of the main...
Wasn't it like in the 80s?
Something like that, yeah, like in the 80s, before we existed. Most of us at the Albaran even existed, actually, except for our Eldritch God, Stitch, who is still alive and we're thankful for. Even though every Sunday when he comes on and I ask him, how you doing? He says, I still woke up today. Love you, Stitch.
The life
Please
of an
continue
Eldritch
to wake
being.
up. But this, I'm going to switch over to this screen, which we haven't seen yet. This is the character sheet for Cyberpunk Red. Bit busy. Let me zoom in a little bit on that. You're going to have to look at the stream, Ben, for this.
Let me take a look. Okay, I'm looking.
So we've got this busy, you've got your awareness skills, body skills, control skills, education skills. They break it up into individual sections. Even further education skills, fighting skills, performance skills, everything's pretty much skill-based. And from what my brothers told me from the system, because I have not dabbled into it yet, even though I'm one of the players in the one-shot, it's pretty easy to use.
Huh. That's pretty good.
Mind you, we were taught and we were trained in TTRPGs using 3.5 and Pathfinder 1e, which cataclysmically, like today, if you look at TTRPGs, are some of the most difficult systems you can open on. There's so many rules. That's not even half of it. I mean, the character sheet's 3 pages long.
Ooh, Dipper is
body modifications.
Out.
Time to
he
go
literally
to
just flipped up my curtain.
Did he?
Oh, yeah. He was
Dipper.
quite agile. I think he's chasing a fly. Just kind of became a missile.
I have to go. Hey, thanks for being here, Raven Phoenix.
This is the whole cyberware sheet.
Yeah, this is the cyberware sheet portion of the character sheet where you account for your cyberware. Wild stuff. I haven't started reading the system yet, but I should, because on August 29th, we have a one-shot using this system. The Cyberpunk Red system. It's going to be GM'd by Vaughn, not myself. Yay, I get to play. I don't have to GM things. But, yeah, 29th. And Ben, do you know why we are using this system for that date?
Tell me.
I will tell you after I take a sip. Rytak does, because he's the one who recommended this to us. Rytak is a player on our Thursday campaign, every other Thursday. Mystery of Bloodheim. He plays Donovan, where I played Irvin on that one, so I get to play even more. Yay. But we're using it because in the Cyberpunk, the original Cyberpunk lore and theories and mythos, it was August 22nd of 2023, or 23rd of 2023, where the raid on the tower happened.
Well, now. It's like a raid on Arasaka Tower, I think.
The raid on Arasaka Tower, which we're not quite doing it on the correct date, but we're doing it on the 29th of the very same year. And we are doing the raid on Arasaka Tower.
Nice. I'm excited to see that.
It's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a hoot and a half. But side questing again. We are in our Gamers Tome section of Heroes Feast, where we talk about a different TTRPG system than most people would realize or even think about. And this one, the SCP. SCP system. How many people out there know of the SCP universe? If you
I know
don't,
of the universe, but I didn't know there was a system.
There is a system, indeed. This is the book. I have it tabbed for all my lovely little moments and pages I need to know. We're going to talk about the book in detail in future Heroes Feast moments. We're going to be doing a mini-series on this in the month of October, which SCP is Secure, Contain, Protect. And it's securing, containing, and protecting things that we don't understand or cannot explain. Things like a vending machine that distributes puppies when you give it away, on how to deal with or handle that puppy. People who live on Everest and can survive the elements without any tell, and when you look at them, you freeze to death. Random little things like that, objects that are consistently the same size, eldritch-like beings, that when you approach them, they stay the same size, but they torment your mind to continuously trying to approach them. Stuff like that. It's so much fun. It's horror-esque. It's terrifying. It's scary. Hence why we're doing the mini-series, a 4-episode series, in October. Spooktober.
Mm.
Spooky season.
Spooky, spooky.
Spookies. They have a quick start guide which will help you get through their entire system and how to create your character and make it. Today, we're just going to take a look at the character sheet. This is the character sheet. Now, Ben, when you look at this, I've GM'd and DM'd for you a fair amount in D&D system. When you look at this, what's one of the key differences that you might be able to tell from the beginning? Let me zoom in a little bit. Chat, feel free to chime in as
It
well.
adds die to the die pool?
There you go. That's related to it, yeah. So, if you look over here at strength, and I'm cutting off the strength bit, or health actually. Over on the left here, I can't fully get it in, no! Right there is a symbol for D8s. Then you've got D10s and D12s. Your core stats, strength, health, perception, dexterity, fate, charisma, intelligence, and willpower, are based off of a die pool. Dice pool is something that's not typically used, or it's not well known used in TTRPGs, because mostly what people think of is the Pathfinder system or the Dungeons and Dragons system, which doesn't use dice pools. They use standard array type stats. Your 12, 10, 15, 13, anything up to 18, or low as 3 if you roll really crappy on those dice. I'm sorry for the players who do. This one is dice pool. And the way they get around that is how you create your character. So right here, I'm going to zoom in a little bit. This is how you create your character. You get 20 D8 to distribute between your stats.
Which is a lot.
It feels like a lot. But when you look at
But I
this
saw
again,
how many stats there were.
there's a lot of stats, yeah. So you've got strength, which is at the top here, that you can't see, unfortunately. I'll adjust that later, sorry everyone. You've got strength, health, it's 2. Perception, dexterity, fate, charisma, intelligence, and willpower, it's 8, as opposed to 7. But when you go into it, in order to get a D10, you have to put 2d8. And when you create your character, you can only have 2d10 in a stat. So, in any of the stats. So you have to put your 20d8s distributed in these single slots.
Ooh.
So you cannot get this d10 until you fill the previous 2 slots for d8s.
Ah, okay.
So even distribution has to start happening, and you only want to put the d10s where in the stats that you really want to start focusing. So if you're doing more of a intelligent-based character, you might want to pump in 4 of those d8s, of those 20 d8, so you can put your 2 d10 in there. And that's important because when you roll for this stat, you're rolling a dice pool. You choose 3 of the dice that you can roll. So for example, if we continued following the example of the intelligence, and I put 4 of my 20 d8 in my intelligence stats when I was building my character, I could then use, what is it, next image? Ah! Hit the wrong button on something. 1d10 can be filled out in anywhere that has 2d8 purchased in the above slot. Fill in 4d10. Oh, so you do fill in 4d10. I'm remembering incorrectly.
Ooh.
So you do fill in some, but you can only do it when you've purchased enough in the d8s first. But if I was doing that, and I had 2d8 and all the other, or I had 4d8 and 2d10 in intelligence, when I was asked to roll an intelligence roll, I would choose my dice pool. When I do that, I'm rolling 3 dice in this system. And because I have 2d10 purchased, I can choose 3 of those to be d10s.
Ah, Okay.
Otherwise, I'm restricted in what I have purchased. If I only have 2d8 purchased in that stat, I'm only rolling 2d8. I don't get 3 dice. I only get the 2 I have purchased.
Okay.
You then take the 2 highest rolls in that and add them together. A way they get around, like, you can't roll that high in the system. Like, if you're only rolling 2d8, you can't roll a 20. You can't roll that much. It's 16 maximum. Exploding dice. Do you know what exploding dice are?
Mm-mm.
Exploding dice is like if I had a d8, like what we're seeing on the screen here, and I rolled it and I rolled an 8 on it, I then explode. So some systems it will be you replace that dice and you roll another d8 or you roll another d10 to it. This one is you add a d10 to your dice pool. So the 3 dice you rolled originally, you're adding a d10, a free d10 to it, and rolling it. But keeping in mind you only take the 2 highest rolls. A d10 adding to that gives the availability to roll even higher. And it keeps going. If you roll a 10 on a d10, it explodes again and you get 2d12. You then roll those, and if you roll a 12, it explodes again and you get a free d20.
Ooh.
If you should ever get to a d20 point, sorry, everyone just hit my mic, and you roll a 20, you succeed, but you still need to count what your total number is. Because criticals work a little differently. Do I have a screen for criticals? I don't know if I do. These are not criticals, these are character creation, which we'll go into in a moment. We'll need this one in a bit. But criticals are by factor. So if you're attacking someone with an AC of like 12 and you roll 24, you critical because you're twice their AC. And it's a lot more lethal in this system. We'll get more into depth with that as we go along with Hero's Feast and as this remains to be our gamer's tome of the time frame. But the stats in themselves on the left hand side here, you've got a couple of extra different ones that you have to consider, like fate and willpower. Instead of doing a will check like what Pathfinder would do, they have willpower as a stat itself. And that goes into the core of the system and the universe it's based off of, being very eldritchy horror and very horror-esque. You need to have a scare factor to it, and that's based off of your willpower. Fate is more based off of what are you most probable to do. You can push your fates. Fate is like the lucky chart, or the lucky stat in Fallout that you would have.
Mm-hmm.
And then your standard intelligence, charisma, dexterity, perception, they have divvied out as its own individual stat as well. Health. Also, health, you don't roll your health. You get a base health. It's maximized every time you level up, which in this case is not leveling up. It's increasing in your merit score.
Oh, okay.
And your security clearance as well is included in that as well. There's a lot of nitty-gritty little bits, especially if you're doing a long-term campaign. I'm never probably going to talk about those because we're probably not going to actually ever touch those in the system when we play through it. It's more the base mechanics of what you create. Right now, it's this. This is the most important bit. You've got the 20d8 among 8 attributes. Strength, willpower, perception, health, blah blah. All those loveliness. The smallest box represents the d8s, as we saw. Fill in 20 of those boxes across all attributes with at least 1 d8 in each attribute, so you cannot leave something blank. You can't have 0 willpower. You need to have at least 1. Dice must be filled in from the left to the right. You must have purchased the dice in the above slot in order to get any of the d10s. I think I read that wrong, but hey. 1 d10 can be filled in any way, anywhere, there we go, that has 2 d8 purchased. Like what we saw here. Keep looking at this intelligence here. A d8, oops, boop, 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 boop. is right here on the top slot where my mouse is. When you have those two filled out, you can get that D10. Below it even is a D12. You can't get that D12 until you get these two D10, which requires 4 D8 to be filled out first. And when you're in your primary character creation stage, you can't get any D12. Maximum you can get is a D10.
So your only purchasing power comes from D8s?
From D8s to begin with, yeah.
Okay.
And when you're rolling these, like if you have a D12, 2D10, and say 6 D8, because you've leveled up that much, when you're choosing your dice pool, you can choose whatever dice you have in that stat. So if I wanted to add a little bit more of a flavor RP-esque of things, given a situation and a scenario where my character is feeling a little less intelligent, I could choose to just roll those 3d8 instead of rolling that d12 and the 2d10. Could choose to go lower. It's one of the things I kind of appreciate about this system.
But it seems like it's an easy way to get certain attributes to climb pretty quick.
Definitely so.
If you want it to.
And if you even see inside here, like, these little red text, you can't really fully read it. But in health here, each d8 you put in health, you get +3 health.
So in your knowledges, is that based directly on your stat level, or is that something separate?
So it's based off of your stat level.
Skills.
Yep.
Okay.
Your knowledge and your skills are based on stat level. One thing that they do that will confuse a good number of people at first, but it's easy to get around. We'll talk about that later on at some point when I've reminded myself on the system again. They use decimals.
Oh my.
All their stuff uses decimals, and they use that to get around the you rolled the same. Like 2 13s, great. What's your decimal point? Like, I rolled a 13, but my decimal point is 2, so I've got 13.2. But their AC is 13.3. I didn't hit.
That can get complicated.
It can get complicated, for sure. Definitely. Character creation, I must say, is probably the most difficult part of the system. And it really, really focuses around knowledge and skills and your attributes. There's a simple formula that goes behind the creation of them, and it is simple enough to follow and to keep up with. But when you're first learning the system, it's a little difficult to track at first. That's where having an online basis, like with Pathfinder 2e, I won't touch it if I don't have an online source to help me create my character. There are too many things to keep track of, too many things to focus on as a new player. It's the same thing for this. I wouldn't touch this if I didn't have an online basis to do it with. Because there's too many decimal points.
Yeah.
It is a huge turn off to it. The other thing here is, like, you see here, oh, I'm covering that up now. My face. A little difficult to see, but you see these portions here. Appearance, body type, and reasoning. Those are important to keep track of, because they actually factor in attributes to it. Like right here, I've got the reasoning modifiers. If you reason yourself as naive, you're getting a +15 on your cognitive resonance bonus, which is important for not being scared. It's like looking at the boogeyman and saying, you're just a guy in a costume. Your modifiers of resist distress, again, you're disassociated with really what's going on. But you're also modifiers of negative side. Because you're disassociated that way, you're less inclined to react to it. You're also less inclined to question what's happening in front of you. You'll look at the SCP stuff and you'll say, every day is normal, there's an explanation for this. Whereas if you go with nuts, that's your conspiracy theorist of the pigeons have cameras in them.
Mm-hmm.
You have -2 your resist distress because everything is hyper paranoid around you. You've +3 to your initiative because you're reacting quicker to everyone else. It's a pigeon, it's got a camera in it. Your intuition, higher up. Your SCP lore, higher up. You're getting bonuses for different reasons.
I like how similar naivete and skepticism are.
yeah, they're really close.
It's like, that's kind of
Same
true.
with body type. Like, the only other TTRPG system I played was the Palladium system, and they took these things into consideration. Like, you're beautiful, attractive, average, strange, creepy. They have negative modifiers to it and positive modifiers, which is something I was a little disappointed with in the Pathfinder 2e, D&D 5e. They don't have negative effects to things. The earlier versions had negative effects. You get a bonus to this, but you have a negative effect to it. So I appreciate how the SCP system incorporated those things. Hello, hi Riri, how you doing? What's up? Welcome back. We're talking about the SCP-TTRPG. It's great.
Yes.
Take a look at this character sheet. It's a lot less intimidating than it looks. It really is. Coming from the 351E person. 351E stuff, take a look at those Ben in your free time. They're nuts. Holy crap.
Yeah.
But before we diverge from this and come to some closing statements, there's one more thing I want to bring out today about the book itself that I really appreciate, that I think the Pathfinder system could really benefit from, because it'll help a lot of people. Heck, actually, even the D&D system. Please, put this in your book. Where is it? Maybe if I just flip through, I'll find it. No, that's too far back. That's getting into core stats stuff. There's something they added in their book, which is full of QR codes that if you follow will give you generic lore and aspects of the system. Sorry, I hit the mic again.
Oh, that's nice.
This. Do you know what this is?
Is that a glossary?
It's a play-by-play.
Oh.
So it's a play-by-play of a single session of people playing the game, playing the system, and coming into scenarios where they talk about what the person said, what they asked, how the director, as they're called in this system, talked and replied to it. It's a scenario, it's a session in text.
Kind of
So
give
you
you an
can-
idea of what they're intending the gameplay to be like.
Yep.
Gives
you an
that's
idea of the
actually pretty
gameplay.
smart.
It's really helpful, especially for if you're a GM looking to direct this kind of system, or if you're a player looking to play in it. It's a very helpful chapter. They also break it down in security levels, because a big thing about the SCP universe is your security level. If you don't have the security level for it, you can't access the information. The book is broken down in the same way. Your security level, you read up to that point. Starting with security level 0, everyone needs to know it. Security level 1, everyone needs to know it. Getting into security level 2, where they start saying, Director, this is more important for you. Players, you can read this if you'd like. If you're not joining a D class campaign, read this. Above that, they say, players, ignore the rest of the book. Directors, this is for you to read.
Interesting.
It's clear, cut, and simple. They separate everything in accordance to what you need to know. Through the book, you don't have to jump around. And that's a problem I found with the D&D system and the Pathfinder system. Their books,
Jumping around a
you
lot.
need to jump around a lot for the understanding of things. The SCP system cuts it simple. You read up to this page and you're done.
Nice.
I really like that. It's a lot of fun. Now, one thing we'll talk about a lot more in the future with this is the combat actions, because you only get 2 combat actions, and that's including movement. 2 combat actions per round. It simplifies your combat, it keeps it moving, it keeps it running and it keeps it flowing. And when you've got a horror-esque thing, you really need to, as a director, you really need to keep that horror aspect to the campaign going. So you need to have more narrative to what you're doing, to what you're saying. Having a 2-action combat system helps with that a lot. We'll get more into that in the future, though. I
couldn't imagine trying to wrestle an SCP. That's how you die.
Depending on the SCP. It depends on the
Yes,
SCP, yo. Yeah, there's a few in here. They give you at the end of the book. Like, this is one I actually wanted to flip to. That's the Red Lake. That's a full SCP. That's one you can't wrestle.
Yeah.
Whereas, this guy, the butler.
You could wrestle a butler.
You could wrestle him. You could wrestle him. He would win in the end, but you could wrestle him. Things like that. But yep, October, Spooktober, SCP System miniseries. We're going to have Rytak in there. Cathris Chaos has agreed. Inkfei is in. Vaughn is joining us for that. He'll be in for that. Or they'll be in for that. And potentially Void.
Oh.
Potentially.
Some Void Cleric action.
Some Void Cleric action in there. It's going to be spooky, it's going to be fun, it's going to be scary. We even actually have a one-shot that month, but we'll talk about that one later. I already have that one too. What do you think though, Ben? Looking at this, how do you feel?
Oh boy, that's a big old system.
Yeah, it is.
But it looks like it supports a pretty interesting concept, so...
It's built beautifully. And we'll be, like, next month, August, which is actually coming up soon. Our next Heroes Feast is going to be in
August is going to be here before we know it.
2 weeks. 2 weeks before the next Heroes Feast. We'll get into more of the action economy and how that plays out and some of the bits. I've already purloined some of the rules of the system for how we're doing, what's his name? I'm forgetting the characters' names inside Campaign 2. Ethan's character, Caleb, for how Caleb and Ultian, how the dynamite works. We've purloined some of the SCP system and how explosions work in SCP system for that.
Nice.
One of my favorite things to do, people. Screw the rules, make your own.
Make your own.
Make your own. Yeah, we'll get a little bit more into that. Intimidating. Yeah, I agree. That is why, let me go back to the screen. They have this quick starter. It's 9 pages and it walks you through everything you need. As a player. It's all you need to know. Free to download. Go check it out. I love the system. I haven't played it yet and I really want to. Hence why we're doing a mini-series on it.
Yeah.
Very simple stuff. Right. Closing comments, closing anything. Ben, what you got? Final things you want to talk about?
Thank you everyone for coming by. It was really dope to have a nice little crew.
It was
a nice time of chat. Yeah, that was pretty nice. Tune in to our other shows. That way you can help contribute to the larger conversation. It's always a good time to kind of tune into these and kind of know what we're talking about with some other stuff. It's there's all kinds of cool stuff to check out. So, but I guess final thoughts. Don't let the AI overlords take over sooner rather than later.
10 years, everyone. Mark it in your calendars. I've marked it in mine. 10 years today, I will be reminded that the AI overlords should have taken over.
Just as long as we don't get got by the robots.
True. It reminds me of the Flight of the Conchords song. The humans are dead. Humans are dead.
Flight of the Conchords, another amazing group.
They'll keep us alive with captures. Right, so it comes in. Also, if you want to contribute to topics and things that we talk about during this show, there is a channel inside our Discord here that, wait for the delay in chat, Discord here, there we go. Hopefully that came at the same time, let me know if it did. It's in the lore library, it's called Heroes Feast Topics. Post something in there, we'll talk about it during the Heroes Feast. I mean, your stuff we want to talk about, what you want to talk about as well. And if you also want to talk about it, be here in chat. We engage with you in chat during these streams, because that's what we're here to do. We're here to engage with you in chat and talk about TTRPGs. Our main focus for the next coming months is the SCP system. After that, we're going to be going to the Fate Core system, changing things up from your stereotypical Pathfinder or D&D. We want to explore the other options as well. Free League, yo. Free League has come up with so many different systems, I can't even keep up. I just got another one of those recently, the Alien TTRPG, which was an ENnie awarded system. All those wonderful things. Who are we gonna raid? Let's continue the love. Let's continue showing the care here. You got anyone new? Oh, what? Catherine's Chaos is playing right now, actually. Sea of Thieves.
Oh, there we go.
Let's go say hello to them. How do I spell that name? And don't forget, everyone, also merch. Go get our merch. Support the fact that we should change stores and go to a different one for better product availability.
Yeah.
It all goes to that. Right now, our main funds, the things that we are trying to support the most, seeing as art costs out of the way due to a new campaign, is booths at Fan Expo, Comic-Cons, conventions, any conventions. We want to be able to get the product to be able to have a booth at those conventions, and we need funds for that. Best way to do that is subscribing, getting our merch, giving us a tip. I mean, we've got the tip right here. I hit the mic for a third time tonight. We should have a counter. We've got just the tip right there. Give us all those wonderful things. Help support the Alberin and what we do. All the money goes right back into it. None of us pocket any of it. We're all volunteers. Help us not be volunteers.
Yeah.
That loveliness. The merch. Follow our socials. Go to our social tree, which I commented a little bit ago. Oh, right. I put socials. I didn't put tree. There we go. Tree. Go to our social tree. Follow our TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Twitter is primarily for when we're going live and what we have going in that day. Instagram and TikTok is where you're going to get your laughs, as well as Facebook. Any other little bits I'm forgetting? Right, epic minis.
Yeah, check out those
Go
epic
look
minis.
out.
They're pretty epic.
The monolithic miniatures. Great guy, wonderful person. Genuinely love supporting him. Again, we're not actually sponsored by them. It's just me doing a thing for a friend of mine. And if you are a content creator and you would like to win some ad space in the middle of our break time, some free advertising where you don't have to pay for it and we just pitch you for the fun of it because we love pitching our friends, create yourself a 60-second ad, video ad, and shoot it my way. It'll make its way in there. We have a lot of AI art things that give the image of what Nathriel is. I want to get rid of those. Those are used for filler. Help me get rid of those and give me some ads to pitch in the middle instead.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah, it's kind of what I want. It's really what I want. So tell me what you want, what you really, really want. Right. That's the end. That's my ending comments. I'm the creator. I have to pitch my own content. Don't forget, August 29th, one shot, and October miniseries, SCP Universe. Prepare to be frightened. And as a little teaser, the creators of the game Eschaton has given me their one-shot to run for our October Halloween Day one-shot, because Halloween happens to be a 5th Tuesday. So we're running a one-shot on that day. For
Yeah.
now, though, we'll see you all later. Let's go say hi to Cathra's Chaos. Ending screen. Bye.
May have closed for now. We hope you met a friend this go around. Tired and blurry you may be. We hope your minds are full from this revelry. Peace follow you out. May you return for more giggles